And you have to mute your phone and stuff because there will be feedback.
I mean, it's live.
That's what that means right there. Hi, you guys. We are live. And if you're in chat, please say hello to us. And I want you guys to all meet my beautiful niece. This is Jessica Yeager.
Hi, guys.
And you guys know me. I'm Crystal Yeager, and we are doing Thrift and Flip, which is my show. This is our new reseller blog. Jessica is brand new to reselling, and I thought it would be fun to do a show with her for all, because a lot of people have been saying to Kayla and I on Sip and Flip that there's just not enough information out there for new resellers. So we wanted to provide stuff for new resellers, okay? So that's what we're doing today. So we wanted to start today. I wanted to, we're gonna go over a couple things. I'm gonna talk to you about a little story about some things I was teaching Jessica, and we had there was a little fun thing that happened there. And then we can talk to Jessica. She just got her first few sales. We could talk to her about what it was like to experience that. And you guys need to say hello in chat. Is the chat not working? I'm gonna say hi. Maybe chat isn't working. Somebody tell me. Hello. Can you guys see me in chat? Let me know. Anyway, yeah, that's where my train of thought goes, okay? I just drop off the face of the earth. So we're gonna go over that. I wanna see how she did on her first few sales. If you guys have some tips for her that, oh, there we go. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
Dawn, this is one of my co-owners of Closeout Sales. Dawn is one of our best
It's
customers.
Our favorite, right?
She's our favorite customer.
Favorite.
And there's Brandy who's joining us. Brandy, how are you? Brandy's a friend of the show. I've known her for a long time. She's an expert on many things, and sometime I want to have her on the show. Anyway, yeah, so we'll ask her questions. Also, you guys can give her tips as I'm talking to her. If you guys have tips you want to add to whatever, let me know. We'll let her know. Okay?
Please do. Please tell me. I like all knowledge.
Yeah, she's a sponge. She's absorbing it all. Okay. So what I wanted to tell you guys today is one of the first things I started telling her about when she first started going out to estate sales, just like a few weeks ago here, by the way. Oh, good. She's posting toys. See, Brandy is a freaking 80s and 90s toy expert.
Okay. I have some toys to ask about them.
Okay, Brandy is the one, okay? And she's a sweetheart, too. She's just an amazing person. So one of the first things I started talking to Jessica about were scarves, okay? Because scarves get overlooked a lot at estate sales, and I find I can make pretty good money on them. They're very easy to ship, and most people these days don't know that there's any that are worth anything. So I was showing her some. These are just some vintage decorative scarves, not name brand or anything. And what I usually do with these is I'll bundle them in like styles. So if I have a long, thin one like this, I'll put like 8, 9, 10 of them together and sell them as a lot for around $15 if they're unsigned or there's no tag indicating pure silk or anything like that. Hi, Matt Thrift. How are you? Steal your baby's iPad so that you can watch live. Hey, you have to do what you can do, okay?
How'd your baby get that iPad if you didn't give it to them? So that, I'm sure it's okay.
So I was going over scarves with my dear niece, and I was telling, look at this hair is really bugging me. It's so not
That's
attractive.
called your kitchen.
I hate it.
Everybody's got kitchen problems.
Can you like get rid of? Oh, by the way, she does my hair. Okay, so we're gonna be doing that here too in the next few days.
There's not much we can do. I can flat iron it and stuff like that, but it's the nape of your neck.
Don't
and
people
your hair
shave it sometimes?
I'm gonna tell you, don't do it. It's such a bitch.
Okay, yeah, you can you guys, she just asked me if she could say bitch on my show. Isn't that funny?
It's one of the worst things to grow out is an undershaving.
Okay, well, the one thing I really hate, the thing I hate about it is it gets caught in necklaces, so I never wear necklaces because of it.
It needs to be flat ironed, and I know that sounds super weird,
no.
but when you flat iron just that section, it then lays it instead of making it poofy, it stick out and catch everything.
Okay, all right. Heather, how are you today? Heather is a friend of the show too. She's an expert on a lot of fashion things. It's Heather Turner. She taught us a lot about how really, if you want to know what's going to be in style now, check out Korea. I mean, 3 years from now, check out Korea now, because Korea knows what they're
The Bible, where the
Yeah.
Bible, the reason I even call things, I got accepted to fit them once. And they give you a testing to see what it is that you have the highest aptitude for. Mine was trend forecasting, which is creating the Bible. It's created 2 years prior to any fashion coming out, and couture design.
And Heather says that she has glasses goals from the both of us today. Mine are cheap. Just go get them Amazon.
Mine are ridiculous. It's stupid, and I wouldn't suggest anybody. But they are Prada. But I bought them at Lens Crafters.
I'll tell you a little bit more about Haley's Closet. Hello, everybody. I can't thank you enough for joining us. It humbles me every time. So I was showing her scarves, okay? Lots of beautiful scarves. This one is a signed scarf. That's what you want. This happens to be not like a really high-end signature, but you do want the signature, obviously, if you can get it. And so in teaching her about scarves, tags are good too. Look at how this little vintage tag.
That is some good definition on that camera.
And so, you want signed, and these are so easy to sell, and they're so easy to ship. Look how cute they are. Well, one of the reasons I always liked them was, and she still has to teach me because I haven't learned yet, I always wanted to collect scarves, and then I wanted to be one of those girls who like wear them in their hair, but I don't know how to do it. I know that sounds stupid, but I don't. So I was telling her, and I said, hey, but the mother of all scarves is an Hermes scarf, so you always want to keep an eye out for Hermes. And she said, of course, Hermes anything. And I said, I know, but a lot of people don't know that Hermes made scarves, and those are your, holy grail. So one day, not like literally 2 days later, okay, she says, I found an Hermes scarf. And I said, fuck you. No, I didn't say that. I was like obviously very happy for her, but that wasn't the end of it. Why don't you show them the scarf you found, and then tell them all about all the scarves you found at that place, and the deal you made and everything.
So I've been a thrift shopper, all that, my entire life, and I have this thing where I sit there and I look at everything. I'm finding that to be a problem at this end, because when I'm sitting there and looking at everything, then all of a sudden everybody wants to look at what I'm looking at, which it's, but then I have to be like, hey, I need my space. And that just seems rude. So I need to stop just looking at everything and be like, can I have all that? But so I'm looking at everything, and basically what is Vera Newman, right?
Yeah, Vera Newman's one of my favorite, obviously, vintage scarf makers. She's very mod. She's known for her ladybug, and it just says Vera usually in a ladybug on her scarf.
So I walked into this room at the estate sale, and I looked, and there was a table full of scarves, and I noticed that one of the patterns was a Vera pattern that I had seen in my aunt's stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to check out that table full of scarves, and they were listed for $1. You could have a scarf for $1, and it was a table full. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go through because I just want to see what I'm getting. And I got to about the 23rd scarf I was going to buy, and
oh, absolutely.
And then all of a sudden I pull this out, and I'm like, oh, well, hey. And so the first thing I did is I did go find that little Hermes
logo right there.
I can't even see if I'm
You're
showing
going to
it
point
right.
it right at that camera.
Okay. And then the other thing Aunt Crystal taught me about was to look at the stitching of the edge. Now, at that point, I began to feel
it's called a rolled edge. When it's a fine silk scarf, instead of actually being folded over and hemmed, the edge of a scarf will be rolled, and then the seam will go around it.
So at that point, I just stopped looking at what I was going to get, grabbed my entire load, and walked over to the people. Now, I believed it to be real. But then again, I don't know why I did this, and I feel like a sense of guilt.
Heather says she would have died.
I felt a sense of guilt because I knew what it was, And I was pretty sure it was real. So why did I then tell the lady? Because I bought so many, I'm gonna need you to give them to me for 75 cents a piece.
Yeah, she haggled on the price after
I
finding.
don't know. I don't, and it's, you know, and honestly, I did it because I wanted to see if it would work. Yeah, I know I'm a hard-nailed negotiator, but I need to stop because I don't like my own guilt afterwards.
But you know what? She did buy like 26 scarves. It wasn't like she just bought 5. Okay, so she bought 26.
But I did spend the most I've ever spent at an estate sale at this one personally listed estate sale.
Yeah, and we're probably going to go back and buy out the rest of the estate sale, just so you know. But okay, so first Matt said, "Oh, hello, beautiful," talking to the scarf, and then Heather said, "Thug life." So, you know, obviously I hated her and I couldn't talk to her anymore. She brought back this bag of scarf and asked me, how did I do? And every single one was like, you know, a signed scarf. So the next day I got a call. As you guys know, that we own the company called Closeout Sales. We're a wholesale clothing company, and we sell adult clothing. We, you know, so it's all adult, male and female. They're like grab bags. They are whatever, you know, they're not LuLaRoe and they're not, you know, Versace or Prada or whatever.
You'll probably not find my Hermes scarf in that bundle.
No, you probably won't. But what you will find sometimes is like Ralph Lauren. You'll find, you know, a lot of store brands. You'll find Liz Claiborne. You'll find
Calvin Klein,
Levi's, Calvin Klein. Lots of vintage, anything from Pendleton, all kinds of stuff like that. But anyway, so I was stopping to pick up a lot of clothes for our wholesale clothing line, and I buy the accessories for Go Plethora, which is my company, and we sell the clothes through our wholesale company. And so there was this random box of accessories. And when we got back to the warehouse, I was like, I felt like I needed to open up that box of accessories. And it got me an Hermes. Yes, I did. And in case you want to know why there's excitement for an Hermes scarf, these go for anywhere from $130 to $200. And that is used. Okay? That is pre-owned. That's not brand new. So I don't know about you, but for, you know, a 75-cent investment, I'm happy to get 150, 200. Hey, listen, if for any reason we freeze up, we will be back. For some reason, YouTube crashes a lot, and I've been reading about it. It's actually YouTube. There's not much anybody can do about it. It's so, okay. So that being said, you know, we kind of got a little scarf happy. So we have a bunch of scarves, and today, look at, I feel like this one was signed, if I'm not mistaken. No, maybe it's not. Look at how cool that mod scarf is.
I just like that pattern too. And those
we
colors.
are putting up a bag of scarves on our wholesale company, Closeout Sales, where there's going to be at least like 20 scarves in there, and one of them is going to be this beautiful vintage Vera. See that? And this one is really different for her. This is a lot more Asian inspired than what she normally does. She usually does much more mod. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to put it up for $20 shipped is what it will cost for you to get the big bag of scarves. But there's only going to be one. So make sure you get on to Closeout Sales. It'll be on Depop. If you go to Closeout Sales on Instagram, you can click on the link. And when it goes up, buy it. It'll be up sometime in the next few hours, okay?
Can I see that one? I'm
this
sorry.
One? You
I'm
can.
just getting like distracted because
look at
right now I'm really into all of Hawaiian, like anything.
This morning one. This one was used for morning.
I have a question. Is there a celebration one? Is there a white one that's, because do you know I have the one in white and then I have the one in black and I have a matching one in white.
Well, the ones in white, this is an Echo. The I have to go through some of these because I think some of these are actually mine.
Oh, whoops.
But I have plenty. The white ones were usually used for like weddings and
That's
so forth.
because that's what I was telling Courtney after you told me the one was for the morning. I was like, I think this must be for like a wedding or
It
a
was
life
usually
celebration.
for like the mother of the bride too.
So I have a black one and a white one in Ralph Lauren. I've managed to find those from 2 different locations. Exact same, like lace patterns, everything, 2 complete different houses.
Yeah, yeah. Brandy says, "Holy meow, that's an awesome profit. $20 for all the scarves we're gonna put up. It sounds somebody's gonna get a good deal there." And Heather says she loves the black one. It's great for Halloween. It is actually. It's really good. So, okay. So you just started reselling. You got your first few sales on Poshmark, and then you got your first sale on eBay. So let me ask you a few questions here. What has been the biggest thing you've learned about this business so far? What's the one thing that you go like, I really didn't know this, and now I do?
How hard the actual listing was going to be. I did not think. I thought the location, like finding the stuff to put in the store, was going to be the hardest. It's simple. I mean, really, just because like I have prior knowledge of certain things, so it's not like I had to like blindly walk into anywhere and waste my money. In fact, I started totaling the other day, and I've maybe spent a total of $4 on stuff that I thought was one thing and it wasn't. So, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that bad. I did not realize. I mean, I wish people could have seen how many times I've thrown my laptop at my husband. Because I'm like, then you do it. You figure it out. And that's the hardest part is the actual, and that's because how's anybody going to know anything's for sale if you don't have it on the internet listed for sale?
Wait, what? How do people know you have something for sale if you don't have it listed? What do we always tell you guys? List. Get rid of your death piles, right, people? So that's a really good thing. She's learning that right up front, right? Because that's something that takes a lot of people a long time to learn in the reselling game. A lot of times you end up being a hoarder and not a reseller. And you know, I forget who said it on Instagram first, so I'm sorry if I don't give you credit, but remember there was somebody who would say, I'm not in the business of being a storage locker. You know, I'm in the business of reselling. So yeah, that's a really good lesson to learn. It is the listing of items is a definite learning curve. It takes a while to really, you know, get that down and it's also different on every platform.
To feel like also too like to look at that and feel like, did I correctly price that item? Did I put enough notes in that listing so that I'm not given 8 million questions that I have to turn around and call you and ask you how to word it when I answer it back because I don't want to get yelled at? Even though it's like only through typing, but if it's in all caps, I'm gonna feel offended. No,
you guys have to tell
I know it'll happen.
I'll tell you another funny story. She saw the way I responded to some people on Facebook, and she said, "Did you know how you come across?" So I must ask my viewers out there, do I fucking know how I come across? Yeah, I do. I know that I sound rude sometimes on Facebook because I have a very, very low threshold for the stupidity on some of the Facebook groups. We have some really good Facebook groups out there too. And Instagram, I freaking love. So there's just really very little stupidity on Instagram.
Do you ever get gross things in your inbox?
Gross?
Like meaning.
She wants to know if I get dick pics. I have gotten my fair share of dick pics. That's usually on Facebook. And so, you know.
The only reason I ask is all of my Instagram profiles are private for that exact reason. And
I don't have
I
a
can
problem
actually
on Instagram.
like walk out and yell at the person that I know that did that. So now that I have to make it public, yeah. I'm just waiting for the flood.
Oh, yeah. It's not quite like that anymore. They're very good about bots and stuff like that. So unfortunately, sometimes it deters us from being able to do our business, actually. You got to stay in the frame, girl. Come closer to me.
I keep staring at my side braid.
You know what? You'll stare at yourself sometimes too much. So you want to try to look up here. You know, I used to put a little guy up here so I would remember.
So you'd like stare at where to stare at?
It took a while for me to remember to look at you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. Matt Thrift wants to know your Posh store so she can share you today. Her Metallic is her store and it's Matt. you know, like matte.
Like as in like how I have
Yeah.
a matte
Mhm.
lipstick on.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that means I know it's. I'm gonna give you the definite one because I know it's Jessica Esther something. All of them are Jessica Esther something.
I am Crystal J. Jae. If you ever want to check me out on Poshmark, my link is in my bio on Instagram under Go Plethora. So if you want to check out my Poshmark, just click the link on there.
Is that me?
That's you.
Okay.
So,
it literally is at Jessica Esther, all lowercase. I'll spell that out. JESSICAESTHER.
and that would be awesome if you were sharing. Now, how have you? Okay, so which platform so far do you like the best so far?
I like Poshmark the best because it's easy, and I do like that whole how when somebody has an item that's like yours, they go share it, which then notifies me to go share theirs, which like a lot of cross promotion. But of course I know that eBay is the one I want to be on because I need rules to follow. And
well, and you need viewers. I mean, the fact of the matter is you will get more sales eventually on eBay, but that one is such a hard learning curve. I agree. If you're just starting on reselling, I believe that clothes and Poshmark are a really easy way to go. And we make enough videos to teach you. We're actually going to do classes here at the warehouse to teach people how to sell. If you're in the Southern California area and you'd like to learn how to sell on Poshmark, please contact me at Go Plethora on Instagram, and we will hook you up because we're going to be doing some classes as soon as I close escrow on my house. Because I'm sorry.
How exciting.
That's the priority right now. Okay, I need to be able to. They wanted to rent the house for the last 2 weeks. I told you that, huh? And I was like, nah, I need to move into my house.
Get out of my house.
Yeah, I told my real estate agent that I drive by and I yell at them. Get out of my house. Oh, no, I don't.
I know she spies. She showed me this picture. I said, at Crystal, that's from the outside of the backyard. You're spying on that house.
You guys saw it. Some video on my Instagram. I was actually allowed to be there that day. Let's see. Gotta go get some more toys ready. Good luck with your sales, Jessica. I'll finish watching later. That's from Brandy.
Thank you so much, Brandy.
And yeah, okay, so do you guys have any tips for a first-time seller that you'd like to share with Jessica? Meanwhile, I'll ask her a few more questions, but please share some of your favorite tips in the chat because we'll share them with her and I'll share them live so other people can hear them too, okay? So what has been the hardest thing? So has listing just been the hardest thing, or is there anything else that you've struggled with a little bit?
So I almost had like a complete meltdown over glass art. And I really do see it as art. I've always seen glass blowers as like they're an artist, and then I started like looking into that glassware and the fact that it was all blown by a person, and then I really got into trying to remember the name right now, Blanco. So I found these pieces that I'm pretty sure are actual Blanco glass pieces, and they're ones that I can't find in any of the catalogs I have, or even looking on Worth Point, or you know what, so just I've been into the glass collector database, and so that's my thing is becoming obsessed with wanting to know that I'm right. Oh. And like to the point of like not sleeping for 36 hours trying to find that definitive thing to tell me I'm right.
Okay, here's what I personally would do is take pictures of the Blanco, join the mid-century modern San Diego group, and post your pictures on there and ask. There's Blanco experts on the MCM San Diego group. So, and they're local to you too. So like if there was somebody who you found out, like really, like the way I found out that that lady was a nagel expert was through groups like that. Okay. And then she said, come on out and show me your nagel and I'll tell you what it is. And then she did. And in case you didn't know it, you guys, I found an actual signed nagel. And not just a print, not the ones that you find on every poster, not just your salon art.
I know what you're talking about.
I found a real signed nagel at Goodwill. And the premier expert of nagel is right near me in San Diego. So that was awesome. Matt Thrift has Posh tips. Share your own listings. I share my entire closet 3 to 5 times per day. Holy cow. You know how long it takes me to share my closet?
But then you have to do it individually, right? There's no option to just like share that whole dang thing scattered.
Is there a faster way to do it? it gets faster the more you do. It takes me 10 to 15 minutes for 300 items, she says. Wow, that's really fast. Do you do it from a computer or do you do it from a phone or an iPad? Let me know how you do it. Do you have a little trick? Is there any tips you can share on how to share it faster? You suddenly can't hear us. Am I blocking the microphone?
Hello.
Okay, well, let everybody else let me know if you can hear me because it shows that I'm talking and that the computer is picking up sound. Also list every day. Okay, so what have you learned about listing every day? What is listing consistently do?
It gets you sales. No matter what, any sale I've had has been after I spent that night listing instead. Because I'm doing so much at once. I literally quit any other job and just jumped full-fledged into this. And so I like running out of the gate trying to get 8 million things done at once. I'm so lucky to have Crystal because I've met other people who are like, oh, you have a good eye and you have this. So I knew I wanted to do it, but I don't trust people to not lie to me, to want to take something from me. And right there, and I'll show you because I knew that was an Hermes scarf and I made that lady give it to me for 75 cents. I am scared of other people doing that. So I just want to talk to somebody who's not trying to get my stuff cheaper, that just wants to tell me for the love of it. And so that's where I got lucky that I can go, Aunt Crystal, how do I answer this back? Aunt Crystal, what do I do? Aunt Crystal, Aunt Crystal, Aunt Crystal. I feel like I'm literally the number one thing I say a day is now, Aunt Crystal.
Do you have this chat on your phone?
I don't know. Okay, so I felt like I wasn't paying enough attention.
All right.
Trying to.
Because I'll look at yours.
Yeah.
Because my phone is about to die, and I don't want to die and not get to see the chat.
So where do I go to the
So
chat?
we need to go to this video. So type in Thrift and Flip. That's the name of my show. What's the name of my other show on Tuesdays at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time?
Can I ask what Thrift and Flip Sorry Girls is?
None of that is me. Let me see.
Did I put because I put and?
No.
Is it the symbol?
No. It's just that I haven't ranked high enough because there I am. My beautiful yellow face. Because I have that old yellow icon of me still. So we go to live chat.
Now that I can see myself on that, I look like I'm at a business meeting or something.
We have very professional here.
I've got fringe on. I've got fringe and LuLaRoe.
Oh, we have to sign in for you to chat. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna plug in. You guys chat amongst yourselves, okay? I'm
Hello. Coffee talk. I used to love anything SNL. It kind of ended when Bill Hader stopped doing Stefan, and that's my favorite, like, of all the bit characters, because no joke, I was in the Los Angeles rave scene for a long time, and all those characters that he makes up where he's like, and there will be midgets on skates, and those are, no joke, true life people that I consistently met. That I will tell you, one of them is now a well-known bajillionaire out in Las Vegas. So if anybody knows anything about raves, they probably know who I'm talking about. But it's just hilarious to me that that's actually what those people are like. Like, who cares if everybody gets a Capri Sun if you pay $17? Who cares?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you some tips that they were talking about while I was doing that.
Perfect.
Heather says, I love swung glass pieces. The ones that look melted and drippy on that. I do too. I have a couple of Fenton swung glass hobnail vases right now that are sitting in a death pile. I don't know why. I have too much stuff to do right now. Moving is stressful. Okay. Let's see. I share from my laptop. Matt Thrift says, I share from my laptop. I zoom the window out as far as it will go so I don't have to move the mouse as much.
I get exactly what I personally also like to list from the computer. I need to have a movable mouse.
This is for her sharing, though. This is how she shares.
Yeah.
Not how she
So so basically you pull it up like to the full screen, and then that way I could just share them from the share button.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
When can I ask when you do that? Because in all honesty, because like most of my listing does get done late at night. And when I'm listing, like first I go and I share my things that have been a couple days where nothing's happened with them, and then I go put my new listings in. But what time do people? I know I kind of feel like it doesn't really matter because all over there's 8 million different times, but.
For me, I personally share during the parties whenever I can. I'm not as good about sharing my whole closet every day. Erin Joe, my wonderful assistant, who for some reason isn't in chat right now, so I guess I'm gonna have to fire her. No, I'm just kidding. You know I love you, Erin. She will often share my closet for me. So, and I don't think we have a set time. We personally do it whenever, but let's see if Matt Thrift, let us know if there's a specific time that you find sharing your closet helps better. Do you do like one morning, one afternoon, one evening? You know, how do you work your sharing? Heather Turner says, I think late at night works the best for me and the parties. I do love sharing in the parties. I really do. By the way, I just reached 27,000 followers on Poshmark. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. You are so supportive of me and my little business. I love these people. They're awesome. Matt Drew says, I share my entire closet as soon as I wake up, usually from bed, as soon as I get home from work, and usually 2 to 3 more times at night, right before I go to sleep before I can. Later at night has more results.
I have noticed that. I just very recently started doing parties, but literally like middle of the night is the only time I have to do those things. And it'd be like middle of the night, I'd list. I'd wake up and it'd be that noise, like ching, you know what I mean? That little noise, like, and I'd be like, oh, so that's what I told my husband. I was like, no matter what, I have to list something.
Right.
I'm shooting for 10.
Yeah.
But 3 is better than 0.
Right. No, exactly. 3 is better than 0. I shoot for 10 also. I have been so shitty this week. I have not listed anything. Like pretty much all week.
But think about it. I know that, but if you like go on Depop and see what we're doing with the closeout sales, then you'll be like, oh, that's what you've been doing all week.
I have been busy. We're working on the wholesale company. We are also moving, and I don't know.
Big changes.
Lots
Things
of big
are happening.
Things are happening. They are moving and a shaking. So let's see. Heather Turner says her goal is for 10,000 by the end of the year, and she's at 7,500. Way to go! You're totally gonna make that goal. That is awesome. She says followers, and that's cool. You totally will. I will give you my little tip. I don't know if this is true or not. Okay, I'm just saying that once I did it, it really worked. One of the Instagram people, I don't remember if it's Deal Queen or not, and I love you, Deal Queen, and if it's, then I'm giving somebody the wrong credit. Again, I apologize. I'm 51, people. Do you really expect me to remember everything? No, okay. Anyway, she told me to put, okay, not your name of your shop, but you know where you get to type what your real name is?
Mm-hmm.
You put an explanation point in front of your name, and then you'll end up on that wheel. It's called the wheel, and that's at the beginning where it says the main page of Poshmark. It'll say recommended users or whatever, and new people go and follow all those people. Ever since I did that, I really do end up on that wheel all the time. I ended up on it this morning, and I end up on it all the time. So it might be true. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it would have worked if I never put that, but it seems to have helped. I don't know. I list literally whenever I can. I photograph and measure ahead of time, but I share most at night. Dawn says, I'm up to 26 for today. Wow, way to go, wow, Dawn. That's really awesome. Impressive. I want to see some of the stuff you sell, Dawn. You have to take pictures and send them to me. I want to see. Let's see. Heather, goes quicker the more you get. I feel like I just hit 10,000 not long ago, and I'm at 47,000 now. Woohoo! Way to go, Matt Thrift. She is kicking butt on Poshmark. 47,000 followers.
I keep feeling like I'm gonna get in trouble for cussing. like somebody's gonna send me a bill. Like, you will. Well, you now owe $60 to YouTube for saying that 3
times. Let's see. Oh man, what a good idea. Worth a shot. Yep, I don't know. It's worth it. Look in your warehouse, Dawn said, to see what's selling. I said, I want to see what you're selling. And Don said, look in your warehouse.
True.
No, I know. That's why I want to see which pieces worked for you. And I go, oh, that one worked. The next order you do, Don, we're actually going to put it together for you, a little special something. There might be things in there, like a little special scarf or maybe a little jewelry or something special that you don't normally get. We just want to stick a little present in there for you. Okay, so what is your biggest fear going forward?
I'd have to say like I'm a little bit nervous doing the negotiation where, you know, I did not realize that it's insulting to come in at a half price. I'm used to business negotiations where a person tells you an amount and then you cut it down to half and then you both go back and forth until everybody's comfortable. I did not realize that that was insulting.
Okay, like she's talking about on Poshmark, you know, when they lowball you. And yesterday she got this really low offer, and then she heard words out of my mouth that she never heard. But no, I'm just kidding. I told her, nah, you know, like we have to teach Poshmark people that we do not accept those kind of lowball offers. Now, obviously, I do not believe in ignoring an offer. In case you haven't watched any of my shows, I don't ignore my customers. I am not rude to my customers. I say anything that I feel about them here on my show and to my friends, okay? But I'm nothing but professional with my customers. So I told her what to do. Now, when I get a lowball offer on Poshmark, and this is one of my favorite tips, I just gave this in a Facebook Live video yesterday. What I do is I counter offer with what I'm willing to take, okay? So let's say it was $24.99 and they offer me 10 bucks. You know, here's the way I feel about it. Fuck you. Over 50% off? Are you serious? The fuck? Are you the queen of fucking Sheba here? What? You know, I'm not giving you over 50%.
And if you're the queen, you can afford full price.
Right?
You're taking all our money.
Right. So, but I don't say that to them, okay? I never say those things. So, instead what I do is I send them the lowest amount I'm willing to take, and then I tag them in the item and say, you know, let's say their name is, you know, at Jessica Esther. I'll tag at Jessica Esther. Thank you so much for your offer. I have countered with the lowest I am willing to go at this time. Now, what that has done for me is getting me 75% more sales, and I get my price I want. I have way less of this back and forth shit where I go 20 and they go 16 and I go 19 and they go 17 and I go 20 and they go 10. You know, because they want to go back to their original price. So it has really helped me close more deals at higher prices by letting them know and tagging them, since there's no way for me to comment like there is on eBay. Let me see. Oh, you know what, Dawn? I'm gonna help you this week with that. I'm gonna send you a private message. We're gonna start doing buy one for 25, get your second bag for 20. And I'll show you how we do that. We actually have to manually give you that second discount, but we're gonna start doing that this week for the wholesale orders. Always counter offer, even if you counter your original price. That's another tip. What is countering offer count? When you counter offer, what does that do? Does that somehow help you? When you just counter offer with your original price, can you let us know, Matt? I will tell you another thing I learned that I didn't know about before was, I don't know why I didn't know this before, so I'm sorry if I was stupid. I just learned it this week. I didn't know that when somebody bundled an item of yours, that I could go in and make an offer, even if they didn't do an actual bundle, they started one and it was just one item. I didn't know I could send them an offer. So I've been doing that a lot lately too. They start to bundle, I click on the items they're bundling and I send them an offer. And that's been helping too.
Can I ask a question just because it came to my head right now? I had somebody request for me to style them.
Oh yeah, there's a little style feature, and You know, personally, since I haven't used it a lot, I would, Matt, can you give us your Instagram name? Are you the same on Instagram as you are in chat? Because if you are, I'm going to send her over to you to talk to you about how to style somebody. But basically what you do is you look through your closet. You'll see, look at them and see what kind of stuff they like, and you
make them an outfit.
Yeah, and you kind of put it together, and
that's
what
I thought. I just want to make sure, like, prior to me sending this lady an outfit, she's not like, what the hell? I wanted you to show me what bathing suits you have. So sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. And the truth be told, like, out in the world, I will all the time just go around acting like I know exactly what I'm doing, because people tend to believe that. It's a bit harder to convey over the internet.
Matt says, Crystal, I remember you saying that a while ago about commenting, and it works. And Heather said, I found a new keyword for pastel nightgowns or vintage pastels in general. And I'm sorry if I say this wrong, so correct me, like you guys can do a phonetic spelling in the chat. But it looks like she said fairy key, K-E-I. Would that be key? Fairy key? It's a style. You will have to Google it to really see what it encompasses. It's been working. And
it's like one of those words that when people are searching for a particular thing, like that, you know, like I have a lavender hand embroidered vintage handmade shirt on my on all of my things, but that's exactly how it's like spelt out, as those 8 million different things, because I want you to know that somebody made it in their home, and I want you to know. And then, so I guess that would be a better word.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, it is. It's Fairy K. That's how it's pronounced.
Fairy K.
But it's spelled K-E-I. So we'll have to Google that. Thank you so much. I love freaking learning new stuff from you guys. You guys are so helpful. And Matt Thrift is Matt Thrift as well on Instagram. Make sure you follow her. And if you have posh questions, she'll be happy to help you. Okay. So maybe you could teach her a little bit about using the style. I have to tell you, I post on Poshmark. Erin Jo actually posts for me on Poshmark. Anything that I've posted anywhere else, she fills my closet for me over there. And I do the parties and stuff, but other than that, and I ship the items, but Erin Jo's my Poshmark person, so I have to say I don't have the knowledge that other people have about Poshmark hands-on, because I have an Erin Jo. Everybody should have one, but I
like how Courtney's all, so when are you going to be getting somebody to do it for you? I said, honey, maybe in a year. Maybe a year or two.
I've been doing this for 3 years before I finally had an Erin Jo.
Well, I told him, you don't attempt to like find a helper or an assistant or till you're losing things.
Why don't you tell him, Courtney, you are my helper.
Because he already knows he doesn't do anything right.
By the way, her husband is my husband's nephew, like blood nephew, and so he's like a mini Doug.
That's what I keep calling him, Little Doug.
Isn't that funny, you guys? Okay, so any other tips for her out there? And do you have any questions for our team this week? This is our team. These are the people that have taught me more than anybody. These people right here.
I feel like I'm completely drawing a blank. Like I'm put on the spot to ask a question. Like I'm a lobbyist and like I've raised my, like I'm that. Do you remember Kenneth Bone?
Yes.
The guy, that's how I feel right now. I don't even have some question to blow everybody away with.
So how about this? Did you find something this week in closeout sales that you really liked while you were sorting and stuff?
I did. Can I go grab that stuff real quick?
Look at you guys, like our little mess over there. I was trying to hide it, but this is what happens when you get up and walk away. My hidden mess is now available for everybody to see. But that's that couch I got.
So these were the two things I wanted to share. Okay, this one right here.
I love sweater season.
So the whole way I even got into fashion was when I was like 9. I began collecting Lacoste sweaters. It was for the alligator. I literally just loved it because of that little alligator. I ended up with like 36. I feel like that maybe is a sign of OCD or something, when you have to have 36 different colors of the same thing. But I loved it. And I loved the fact that I didn't have to pay, like, you know, because I walked into the thrift store. My mom would always shop at Robinson's Maze and May company.
Yes,
and it
yes.
was like, oh my God, that's so much money. And then I started finding these and I got all these. And then later, when I was in like high school, and it hit huge that everybody thrift shopped and they wanted Lacoste sweaters. Well, I was sitting on 36 of them. You know what I mean? So that was the first thing I've ever really gotten into. So when I saw that and I had to put it in a pile, like literally, there's so many things that when I'm putting these things together, that I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody better know what this is. But I can tell you the number one thing I am asked when I tell anybody what we do is, so you cherry pick the clothes first, right? Like they talk about how I go.
They think that we go through the clothes, pick out the very best ones, keep them for ourselves, and then we send out whatever we can't sell, which, yeah, no, that doesn't happen. If you watch my show, Sip and Thrift, not thrift. I don't even know what thrift means, okay? That's not a word. Sip and trip.
I've done that before.
I think we've all done that before, right? Anyway, we should do a show on me and Kayla just tripping. Okay. Anyway, then you'll know that what I do sell is the stained and damaged clothes from closeout sales. It's ones that we don't send to our customers, but that we feel we can either repair or still sell, because in their salvage condition. So we don't. What we do sometimes is if I go into an estate sale before the buyout, I might pick a few pieces and pay full price for them.
How I got the Hermes.
Right. Yes. But otherwise, no. Once it becomes closeout sales, we're very serious about drawing the line between our businesses.
So when I am asked that question consistently, this one piece is what I say. Like when a person gets this piece, they will know that I do not get to cherry pick at all. It is a red, short sleeved, 100. I don't even know. Can you tell me if I'm like showing it?
You're
correctly?
perfect.
100% cashmere with the tag on it still sweater. How are you going to tell me? I know I could probably take this out of the pile and walk outside and sell it to somebody for at least $40, like cash in hand.
So nice.
That's what I'm talking about. And this is the piece that I use when people are like, "Do you cherry pick them all and win?"
And that's
somebody?
only one. We've had lots of brand new.
You know what I mean? But this is the one right here where I'm like, literally, like, there's no way that you can argue with me that this is not a great piece. The tag's still on it.
Heather says she likes our Lizzie Borden couch. Lizzie Borden.
I remember I used to say that rhyme a lot, and then all of a sudden I realized she's talking about killing her parents. It like
okay,
never
here's
came
the other
to me.
thing. She was acquitted. Why do we still make it? That's not right. Our government says she was not guilty, then she's not guilty.
True. Because OJ didn't do it.
Well, he's not guilty.
He's not in public opinion. No,
well,
in a court of law,
he's not guilty, but he's not innocent. Anyway, Dawn Martin said she doesn't have any good tips. She's fairly to herself and old. Shut up, Dawn. You're old. Look at me, how old
I really, let me tell you, you guys are why I gave her that look when she said I'm 51. She's one of the most capable women I've ever known, and to sit here and be like, I can't remember. Bullshit.
She said, I if I had any, I can't freaking remember them. That's what
and I call bullshit, Dawn.
So, yeah, actually, it's really funny because I will tell all, my kids that sometimes, or, whoever, I'll say, oh, I'm old. And everybody's like, you're not freaking old. I actually always forget how old you are and everything. I'm like, okay, well, they gave me a senior discount at Del Taco. It's because my blonde hair is starting to look like I have gray hair. I need to put pink and teal back in.
When I went to New York with my gray hair, because I had like the fashion gray that everybody was doing, and I was like running. I was late for something one time, and this old man stopped me, and he was the only person he stopped me. He said, "You didn't earn that hair." Oh, I was like, you're right. I love when people do things like that where they're like, wait a minute.
Heather said, I love the show about Lizzie Borden with Christina Ricci.
I love Christina Ricci, period. I have seen that show. I started to watch it. They do make her look Like she was very calculating and knowing what she was doing, getting away with murdering everybody.
How my people know though that I'm a murder person? Because she said that's the perfect murder couch for you. Because I am a murder. I've been listening to some really, really interesting murders lately too. Like I'm listening to Anne Rule book right now, and if you've ever listened to Anne Rule, she has this way of developing all the characters for you. So especially the victim, which I really appreciate. She develops that victim for you so that you know who they were before somebody decided to steal their entire life away. And I think that's important to the survivors for somebody to really honor their loved one in such a way. But in this book, let me see what it's called, just in case any of you want to listen to it or pick it up and read it. I listen to books. I don't actually have time to sit down and read. So this one is The End of the Dream. Okay. And usually within the first couple of chapters, I know who the victim is and I know who the murderer is. I just don't know why and everything. Okay. In this one, I don't know yet. I'm in like chapter 6 or 7 or 8 right now. I love everybody. I don't know who's going to get murdered. One person has been murdered, but she's kind of brushed that aside as if that's just a side story and it doesn't, it's just to give you a little, so they weren't even a main character in the book. They're just a little side character. Okay.
Do you think it's foreshadowing?
I don't know. I think it might be, but I don't know. And I don't know who the murderer is. I think it's Scott. I think it is because she talks about him the most. So he must be the murderer. But who does he murder? Because he seems to like everybody in the book. I haven't figured out. Or is he the one who gets murdered? I don't know. Anyway, really good book. I'm also listening to, if you like true crime and you listen to podcasts, I love the True Crime Garage. And they did the story this week on Kenneka Jenkins. If you don't know who that is, go Google it. Kenneka Jenkins. Okay. That is a very strange story. She was at a party and ended up in a freezer in the hotel restaurant, like the kitchen in the walk-in freezer, and they found her 36 hours after she went missing. How weird, huh? So anyway, bye, Matt. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you on Instagram, and hopefully you'll join us next week again. We'll be here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And kiss that little baby. She's a nanny, actually. That's why they had a laptop. She didn't give them a laptop.
Oh.
She's the nanny. She was like, I'm the nanny. So
I used to be one of the first jobs I ever had was being a nanny, and I was a nanny to these 3 children for 3 years. Maybe that's why I don't have kids. I'm 35 and I still haven't had kids yet.
Yeah, but you and Courtney want some, right? Do you or do you not?
Well, this is Courtney wants them. So and okay, if it happens, I mean, I'm not going to go spend $40,000 and go to IFB doctors because I already
like, if it happens.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. And
I think that's cool.
And then a lot of people are like, oh, then are you going to adopt or? No, I would foster because I worked in the foster care system and I know how many more kids need. So I would foster, and not only that, Courtney and I would travel the whole world and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're given chances like that, because I don't think of it as something was taken away from me. It's that I ended up having a different chance, and so I keep it loose.
So bye, TJ. Or are you leaving, TJ? I don't know if you're saying goodbye to Matt or if you're leaving. But if you're staying, we're glad you are. We're going to be here for a little bit longer. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't have any grandkids, and I'm okay with that. I have so many people who are like, when are Dylan and Mario going to have grandkids for you? Probably never, and I'm okay with that. That's their decision. What about, Jocelyn and Demara? I don't know. If they want them, that's up to them. If they don't, at 51 years old, I have to say, not really ready to be a grandma. I haven't grown up myself, okay? I'm not ready to be, sitting there doting on somebody's baby, and I don't know. I don't want to be called grandma yet. I don't care if I look like one or not.
I don't call my mom. Only like sometimes to be funny, I'm like, mama. But I call her by her name. We had to work together at one point, and she's a nurse. So therefore, I had to call her by her government name, not her Christian name, her government name. And it's weird. I don't want anybody saying mom after me every 10 minutes. But then I have heard how everything changes the second that like baby's there.
Oh yeah,
you're looking at it. So, but I can't speak on something that I have no experience with.
I love it that my kids call me mom, and they do not call me by my first name because that would not be allowed.
You know,
in my
it's
house.
so funny. I have friends, especially like my friend Lisa, because I've always called my parents by their first names. My younger siblings do not. I don't know why. I must think I'm some sort of continental important person, but no, I'm a weirdo. I once, and mind you, we are 28 years old. This is what this story is being told at 28 years old. She walks into the room and she says, Lily, which is her mother's name, and her mom came flying across the room with the chancla in her hand. I was all,
okay, I wouldn't do that, but I would probably ignore them until they said mom. And my kids, okay, if you guys don't watch Family Guy, you want to know this. There's this one scene where Stewie sits there and says, mom, 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 ma, 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 mama, 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 mom, over. I mean, I swear I cannot do it as long as Seth MacFarlane did it in the show. And so my kids will do that sometimes. And just to feed the fire, I don't answer them. I let them continue until they finish the whole scene. They have to do the whole Family Guy scene or they will not get my attention. That's all I have to say about that.
I cannot stand repetitiveness. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
How do you live with Randy Yeager then?
That's how they get me out of the room. No joke. If they don't want me in the room anymore, they will start to, because I will get up and walk out. There's no fighting. There's no like, literally, I'm either going to break the TV, I'm going to throw the table at you, or I'm going to walk out.
Listen, her father-in-law purposely does, okay, it's from a movie, gosh darn it, the one with, Dustin Hoffman where he has, what is
Tootsie.
No, where he
Rain Man.
Rain Man. Rain Man, thank you.
Definitely.
He repeats himself, okay?
Yeah.
And so that's where Randy started that from.
Is that what it started from?
Yes.
I honestly, because in my head, since
Randy is her father.
I wasn't there for the beginning of it. I just thought, that's how I see it. You're a middle child. And the middle child's always the most annoying because the oldest child screwed up the most. And the youngest child got the most. And so the middle child is always annoying.
So Randy is my husband's brother. And when he is one of the owners here at Closeout Sales as well. And when we first started working together to go do pickups, he would go, so what we do is we take all the clothes, shoes, accessories, jewelry, and so forth. And he would go, so do we take this shirt, Crystal? Do we take this shirt? And I would go, yeah, Randy, we're going to take all the clothes. And he'll go, how about this shirt, Crystal? Do we take this shirt? And I was like, yes, Randy, we take all the clothes. Do you want me to take this shirt, Crystal? And I was like, oh my freaking God, we take all the clothes. And then Doug said, honey, he's doing that to irritate you. Well, he's doing a very good job because it worked. I'm very irritated. And so I didn't know that he was doing it, but he does it all the time. We go fishing a lot too. You'll see some videos and clips on my Instagram with both Doug and Randy, and the two of them together are just I don't know. I can only handle it so long.
Yo, bro, they sound like they're from Boston or something. Like, where does that bro come? Bro, hey, bro. It's like you never talk like that all day.
We know that you guys are brothers. Shut up, okay? Anyway, okay. So, what are your goals this week? Because what I'd like to do is have you talk about goals, and then next week we can check back in with you about your goals and how you've done it.
Keeps me accountable.
Yeah,
I like that. So my goal for by Sunday is to because I'm working on like the clothes and then the things that I have that are not clothes for my own personal store. So my goal by Monday is to have the photographs taken, the stats written for the listing, so I can get them out of my home. Because I do see that thing where you stare at something long enough and it begins to become more and more and more worth something to you. Mm-hmm. And it's harder and harder to let go because it's like it's yours. And clothes are easy because I've had a revolving closet my entire life because I have this like crazy dream to have worn a different outfit every day. You know what I mean? So that it's easy for me with clothes. with this glass art and stuff like that, or you know what I mean, just all the random things. I have these beautiful vintage playing cards, these, you know, just basically anything that you have personally ever taught me to like, hey, look for this, look for this. I've got my house filled with it, and it's starting to become more because I keep staring at it. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it out of my house. So that's my goal, is to by Sunday, when I walk in on Monday, I bought this little box, right? And that little box will be the work I get to take home. I want that by when I walk into Monday, everything to be here, and I just get to bring that one box to work.
Yeah, I usually bring home one little bag to do measurements or something, and then leave everything here. In case you guys didn't know, this whole business used to be at my house, and it drove me crazy. I couldn't stand it.
You begin to drown under
You do.
the stuff.
Okay, so here's my question for you guys. So when you guys buy stuff, do you feel like it's yours and you have a hard time letting it go? Or do you feel like it's not yours? Like, here's the thing. I'm a weirdo. I feel like anything I buy belongs to my store, which of course is me, but in reality, I don't feel like I'm allowed to use it or touch it or anything. I feel like I would be stealing from the family store, if that makes any sense. And so sometimes people have to remind me that I actually own all of this, and in a funny way, because I will say something like, God, I really need to go shopping today. I need to go get some shorts. And somebody like Jessica or Doug will be like, we've got a freaking warehouse full of clothes. Why don't you go see if we have shorts your size out there or whatever? And but for me, I feel like, oh, I can't. That's the store. And this has nothing to do with just closeout sales. I do with a plethora as well, because I will literally buy something and I'll think, I always wanted one of these, and Jocelyn will go, you have one, it's right there. And I'm like, no, but this
Yeah,
is for go
I
plethora.
totally get what you're talking about, because I do, and this is so Courtney and I want to buy a house. We want to buy a house by the end of the year. One of the things my entire life that's freaked me out about owning a home is, how do you decorate it? Like, how do you buy a home, afford to buy that home, and pay your mortgage payment, and also spend all the money it costs to decorate your home?
Mm-hmm.
And in that, believe me, I have like, you know, if anybody ever ends up looking at my store on eBay, I've got like Vera Newman, like cloth placemats, things like that. Of course I would want that in my home, of course, but they're not there for my home. They're there to sell.
Right.
And so, and then in that, like how there are certain pieces that I found just one of them that I liked so much that I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna grab this and slowly collect all of it for my home.
Right. Okay.
And so in that, like anything else I get that's cool looking, like sometimes I will send the pictures that I take to my friends, like just like, oh wow, look at this picture I took. And when they see what it is that I'm taking in the pictures, of course they always want it. They're like, how do you not keep that? Because I didn't buy it to keep it.
I get that all the time. Actually, my family always wants to steal my good stuff. And I'm like, no, like, honest to God, if I would bring home an Hermes scarf and they would say to me, oh, can I have it? And I would think, are you freaking kidding me? I've never found an Hermes scarf in the wild before. I finally found one. Now you're going to try to take it from me. No, you can't have it.
Like one time I specifically bought a shirt for my father-in-law, because I know he wants all of it. And I could tell like the thing he doesn't say is that I want every single thing in here, but he's keeping it under wraps. So like I went and I specifically bought him a shirt. So he felt like, okay, I get something. So I bought him that shirt, and then there was a different shirt that I grabbed that was really stained up that I wanted to attempt to like learn how to take stains out. So that's why I brought it home, and I was taking the stains out. So I got the stains out, and I threw it to my husband to be like, oh, go research this, because I want him to learn how to do it. So when he goes to tell me like, oh, just don't do it, no, he already knows. So I threw it to him, right? And he starts looking it up, like, you know, pulling all the information off the tag, finds it, and finds that it just sold for $50 and automatically says, can I give it to my dad?
Oh,
I get it, honey. I know that it is a nice gesture that you want something nice for your father, but I really specifically bought your dad a shirt that I didn't research, or I didn't spend time on, or I didn't do anything, because then it's not hard. Like, because all you see is this thing that you're looking at, and you're like, oh, not the 8 million things I did to get it, to bring it to your face. Yeah.
TJ says, everything I see, I ask myself, well, wait, let me go back. Heather first says, some things I need to keep for like a month before I list. Like she just needs to keep it for Okay, I have to say, there's a couple of things I do that too, where I actually bought these coffee mugs to sell, but then when we got this office, they're, you know, the little vintage anchor hocking oven proof ones or whatever I have. I was like, we don't have any coffee mugs for the office, and these are two nice little coffee mugs. So we ended up keeping them for the office. But yeah, I was thinking what I could do though is cycle mugs out. Like if I find another cute mug, I'll sell those, and then we'll bring in a couple of other cute mugs for the office. I can cycle stuff. I like to do
the one thing that I did pull that I bought to sell, and then I pulled it, and it's funny because you'll hear. So I believe it is a dark olive green Blanco wine decanter, one of the earlier ones with stopper 654.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that I pulled out, and I'm gonna put it as art in my home.
Oh, okay.
I don't do that. I don't ever do that. Like mind you, I've found like 5 other pieces that have all the identifying markers and everything else. I don't list them as that because I can't say for sure. Like, yes, it's got the 1/4-inch base. Yes, it has the rolled edge from being fired multiple times. The stopper is what made me know that I think I'm looking at Blanco, because their stoppers are easier to identify. But that's the only thing I've ever pulled where I'm like, I'm keeping this because it's art.
Okay, so TJ said, everything I see, I ask myself, I wonder how much I can sell this for. I buy it, and it takes me forever to list it. Doesn't get listed. I watch your shows more faithfully than I list. So you have to list 10 things a day. Just tell yourself 10. That's all. That's it. Just 10. Now, I mean, if you eventually want to go for more, you can. But by doing 10 a day, I mean, even sometimes you won't get the 10 done, but telling yourself 10, you'll at least get 1 or 2 or 3. And then you'll start going, hey, the more I'm listing, the more I'm selling.
You'll see that when the sales happen, that's when you're all, oh.
10 isn't daunting. 10 isn't overwhelming. 10 is doable every day, you know? And so it's awesome. Heather said, I look at things and I say, would you rather have $100, the $100 this is worth, or the item? Actually, what I do say something very similar to that to myself, and I probably have said it to you. I've said it to many people, because people ask me, since I love vintage, I'm into vintage, I buy and sell lots of vintage clothing and other items. Do I collect anything? I collect Enid Collins purses. That's about it. And Vaseline and uranium glass. But we have a very small collection, and we cycle that collection. If we get a new piece and we have a piece that we bought that was not as exciting, we'll sell the other piece and keep the newer piece on the uranium and Vaseline glass. But other than that, I don't collect anything but Benjamins. That's what I collect.
If I could. Now, there is one thing I would collect, but I've never seen it anywhere, and I've been looking for a long time. Anything that's done by, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. I can't even find the prints. The one I'm always talking about, Roy Lichtenstein.
Mm-hmm.
If even a pop art print, I've never found any of it. So if I were to ever find any actual Roy Lichtenstein anything, I will collect it. He's my favorite artist.
Mine is Dolly, and I'm the same way. I do have, I found a mug that was obviously not by him. It was by the museum that contains all his artwork. And my aunt also loves Salvador Dali. And so when I had posted that or whatever, I had posted just a little teaser like, look at this great mug I got. And she was like, I have to have it. You have to sell that to me. I can't sell stuff to my aunt. My daughter lives with her for free. I had to send it to her. You can't take money from your aunt who has your daughter living.
That's what I do. I don't even let my mom look at my stuff. Well, I don't let them. I don't want that where like, can I have this or can I pay?
Oh, she was gonna buy it, but I just was like, I love you. Here you go. It's yours. But I did find a book that was illustrated by Dolly, and after I found that book that was illustrated by Dolly, I realized that's kind of what I want to collect now, because I didn't realize he illustrated any books. And you know what? I really want, so if you ever find one, hook me up. I love a Bible that has been illustrated by Dolly. It's freaking amazing. Okay.
Is it all melty? Like how
it's not, stuff's all melty? I wouldn't say it's melty. I would say that it's very avant-garde. It's just very.
To me, all Dolly paintings look like your acid trip is beginning.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of his work is melting, but a lot of his work is just also just strange. It's not not every piece is melted.
It's not cohesive. What I like about Roy Lichtenstein is the fact that I don't know if anybody's into makeup and stuff like that, but 2 years ago there was a huge Halloween costume called pop art, and it's where the girls would have the black and the little, and that's Roy Lichtenstein's art style. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Half the people didn't even know what they were doing or what it was about or where it came from, but I liked it.
Okay, well, listen, we don't want to, overstay our welcome in your homes. And we do love it that you came and joined us today. We're going to be here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you guys have questions for us, if you have show ideas that we can do, let us know. I'm not sure what we're doing next week yet, but I'll let you know as soon as I do. Don't forget to go check out our Instagram. It's at Closeout Sales. And we're going to be putting up that scarf lot today in the next hour or so. It's going to have lots of scarves, including that signed Vera that has this one right here. This one. It'll be in the lot. There's only one lot. Sorry, I only have one going up today. So make sure you're quick on that. Your workroom turned into a storage room. You need to organize first. Organization is really important. And so do that if that will help you get to listing. I have a little notebook that I use and I write down my goals. Oh, that's the other thing. So here's what I want to know. I'm big on sales goals. I like to have a daily goal, a weekly goal, and a monthly goal. Obviously, my weekly goal is 7 times my daily goal. And my monthly goal is 30 times my daily goal. So when I first started, when I was my daily goal was $35 in sales a day. That's an average. So there would be some days where I had no sales and other days where I had $70 in sales.
So to average out that.
What, as a new seller, do you plan to have as your daily sales goal this week?
This week, I guess a daily would be $35.
Okay. Let's work on that together. I'm going to help her reach her goal, and then you guys can check in with us next week and find out how she did, okay? I will tell you there are weeks where I'm down, there are weeks where I'm up, but that average keeps me pretty true course, By doing that, when I notice that my sales, where I'm not reaching my sales, I will really quickly realize I haven't been listing lately. And then it gets me listing because I'm looking at them constantly instead of just going, I did okay this week. Did I do okay? Let's go look at your numbers.
Could I have done better?
Could I have done better? Exactly. So, all right. I love you guys. Thank you again for joining us. If you don't know already, I have a wonderful show with Hazel Hearts Vintage every Tuesday morning on a different channel. It's called Sip and Flip. This is Thrift and Flip. And we'll be back next Thursday here. On Tuesday, I'll be with Kayla at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And here next Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We love you all. Thank you so much for joining us and have a great week. I have a tagline with Kayla. Maybe we need to come up with a new one. My one with Kayla is, I bet you somebody's going to say it in chat. Go make some money and don't be a dick. But we probably need to come up with our own version.
I don't know, my personal, I don't know what I love. This is not a hoard. Okay. I love it.
All right.
We're not hoarding.
We're not hoarding, and neither are you. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.